What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gravity the Beast. It's the Big Cat. We in the locker room.
You already know, Twan, neighborhood real nigga. We about to get into some current events and shit.
Right.
Here we go.
All right, so we've been seeing a lot of this Abba and Preach versus Fresh and Fit, and like honestly, I'm actually surprised that people are still talking about this. It's been almost a week at this point, but even on the Fresh and Fit podcast that just came out recently, they're about to do a whole podcast breaking this down and answering questions.
I mean, it was big beef. It was like videos, responses, back and forth.
Yeah,
fights.
I think this shit is so dumb, though. Just to recap for the people who might not necessarily know what happened, right? So Abba and Preach did an appearance on the Fresh and Fit podcast a few months ago, right? Mm-hmm. So everything seemed to be cool for the most part. It was good content. I was watching at that point in time. And then recently, about a week ago or so, Abba and Preach had dropped a video where, I mean, some were considering it a hit piece, so to speak, right? Where they were low key coming at them. It was like you could argue it was a disagreement in opinion. It was criticism, but for them having been on the show, it seemed a bit disrespectful to the extent they were taking it, or the way they were criticizing, the way they were damn near mocking them. You know what I mean? It's one thing to disagree, but you're taking content from when you were on that particular show, and then now you're criticizing when you didn't say these things to them up front.
And it was an old pod, too.
Yeah, from months prior. And that's where it initially started, though. Now, moving forward from that, then it gets stickier where you see, like, on the Fresh and Fit podcast, they ended up responding. And they took it to a different level.
They was hurt.
Yeah.
And they started snapping.
That's where it gets weird, because in one hand, you could say, okay, well, Abba and Preach, maybe it was a little bit off or disrespectful for y'all to approach it that way, right? But then when you see Fresh and Fit respond, it's like, well, oh, okay, y'all dudes talking about boxing now, and now we name calling, and now like we talking about
wives and shit.
Yeah. Like once we get to that point, I see where it's like, this is wild. And then now you got Abba and Preach. They respond right back. Like literally their last I think they just dropped a different video recently. But up until recently, their last 4 or 5 videos were all about Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
So some were questioning, is it about the money? Did Abba and Preach say, hey, let's make a video about Fresh and Fit just because they're like popular right now and it'll be controversial and we can get a little boost out of that? Like, what was your thoughts up until that point? Because, like, there's a lot to this story. It keeps on going.
I mean, I think Abba and Preach did some Abba and Preach shit. They wasn't really thinking about it that hard. As opposed to, like, I guess it was a good subject matter and they wanted to talk about it. But the way they did it was kind of drawn. They were definitely coming at these niggas.
So you agree it was disrespectful, though?
Yeah. I could see how it was disrespectful, yeah. Yeah. Preach was drawing.
See, yeah, but and then all right. So the disagreement continued from there, right? But within the initial disagreement or criticism on the Fresh and Fit, it was a lot about paying for sex, and it's kind of interesting that was one of their key disagreements, right? So, and the one thing I think is so funny, right? They criticize Fresh for saying when he fucks a girl, he don't just want to smash, he want to have her soul. I want to clear this up because it baffled me how many people did not understand. No. I just want to say this, like, how many people did not understand that term? Like, and I feel like it might be an older person thing. Because anybody in our generation, we've seen the memes like, oh, when she sucks your dick and you nut and she don't stop, or she could suck the soul out your dick, da-da-da-da-da. We've heard these terms. So when he says he wants her soul, I laugh and I'm like, are you serious? Like where Preach was like, you're not going to get her soul. Like you're not going to. Dude, are you serious? It might be the Haitian thing. Niggas be more like spiritual and shit like that. But you really think he meant her soul, bro? It's a term. It's just a term of expression or whatever. How you just express, hey, I want her to enjoy and want sex from me enthusiastically. Like it's saying I want to give her the best pleasure to where it's some type of sexual bond there. Like people really hyperbolize that expression, and it bugged me in multiple videos. What's your thoughts on that one?
I mean, what, a part of the soul thing?
Yeah.
I mean, when you say that expression, it's like, it's low key saying I want everything.
What you mean?
To a point, it's just like when you say I want her soul.
Yeah.
It's just like you want everything that you could get, or you want her. Period. Very possessive.
I don't know.
Connotation.
I would disagree with that. Like personally, I look at it more so from just.
I mean, the soul is the most important thing you got.
Well, yeah, but you can't forget about the expression. Like you got to keep it in mind. I mean, or maybe you might feel it similarly. Excuse me, where we would see the meme and it'd be like, "Yeah, the girl sucked the soul out your dick."
Yeah.
That just means she's just dope at giving head. Like, let's be real. That's all that means. She's just good at giving head. When you say I want her soul, that just means I want to be the best fuck ever. I want her to keep fucking. Like, I wouldn't even take it into everything or like looking at the soul as like, yeah, that's like, don't look at it like it's just a term of expression. That's how I personally see it. I mean, I can see if you disagree. I understand it. Like, if you take it to that point, I'm just saying that's
It is, but what is it expressing?
how much you want to be able to pleasure somebody. How high of a level?
I don't think so.
I mean,
yeah.
So we could disagree there, but it just I thought it was funny about that. Just how many people didn't understand that, but that's where the initial criticism came from, right? And then moving forward from that, it went about being able to maintain respect in a girl. If you pay for sex, would she respect you? Is all types of sex transactional? You're doing things, and then what is a genuine burning desire? And like it was a lot of disagreements they had, none of which they really got to dive into within the show, right? And so when Fresh and Fit came back and they went off, it was like, all right, y'all in y'all bag, y'all might be feeling the way, but y'all sound serious. But then Ab and Preach come back. They start bringing up other shit, like throwing dirt on their names and saying, oh, well, you disagree with paying for sex, but you have a seeking arrangements account for sugar daddies. And
Hold up. Before we go back to Ab and Preach, let's go back to Fresh and Fit and how
Okay.
they handle it.
Okay.
These niggas was talking crazy.
Yeah,
like
they
this was straight shots.
Yeah.
This was straight. She called this man's wife
A beluga whale.
God damn.
A beluga whale?
Niggas was hurt over that. I feel like they shouldn't have to do all that. I'm like,
I agree.
not really.
I agree. They didn't have to say all that. That was like being extra.
Yeah, they was hurt.
Yeah.
They was hurt.
And they like, and especially the way they kind of framed it, where it was almost as though like, yo, these dudes is clout chasing. They just trying to come at us for this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Where
We're better than you niggas.
yeah, not straight up. We better. We make better content. We do this and that. Da. I see how like hubris to an extent can just like you feel so confident, so cocky. You like fuck it. I don't care. Nothing negative is gonna happen from this. Fuck y'all dudes. Like we're better. Da. I get where you're coming from there, but you just got to remember you crossed the line. At that point, y'all talking about boxing, and then I thought it was even funny because during one of their late night pods, Fresh was texting ABBA about the boxing match live. it was right there. So like you could even see that they were somewhat taking it serious. But then Fresh and Fit start to see certain viewership declining, and even with that, with ABBA and Preach, they started bringing up other people where they were trying to make it seem like, oh, you're saying don't pay for sex, but Myron, you're on a sugar daddy site. And then they dig even deeper where they're like bringing up a story where supposedly, or allegedly, I'll say, Myron was telling a girl that she couldn't come onto the podcast unless she smashed him first, right? And then the girl did a video talking about this alleged situation, right? But then it gets complicated because if you've been following Fresh and Fit, you know that over the last like 6-7 months, they've gotten hacked multiple times. It's been like 4 different Instagram channels. So it's like, okay, when were these messages? Was that the current Instagram at the time? Was that one hacked at that point? We don't know. And then even then, talking about like trying to frame them as using women or trying to be spiteful or what's the word, facetious or something in that category of words, right? And it just looked real dirty. And then Fresh and Fit tracked it, they walked it back. that's where a lot of people kind of lost respect. It was like, yo, you're talking a lot of shit. You're saying all these different things, but then now, oh, you're gonna apologize not to Ab and Preach, but to their fans, to their supporters. We apologize to our supporters.
Yeah, that was some whole shit. I'm not gonna lie.
And that's where you kind of like yeah,
nah, bro.
I can't see
they was talking too crazy for that. I mean, Ab and Preach, yeah, they was wrong, but they was not talking shit like they was. They was more. They was more talking about the subject and why some of the shit they was saying was dumb, but they wasn't aggressively coming at him.
Yeah,
these niggas was coming at him. Myron and Fresh, they was both like, yeah, I'll box both y'all niggas.
Yeah,
and then Preach was like, I'll be in Miami next week.
Bro,
let's box.
Not even just
hold
like
up.
That.
And then Abba's like, yeah, I'll give you 20,000, win or lose. Niggas backed out,
bro.
They couldn't stand on what the fuck they was talking about.
I feel it. I definitely feel it. But I think the weird part is, right, on one hand, you could say, all right, you stepped over the line when you talked about his wife, but then you could say they started it and they were low-key weird, like, for coming at them in the first place. And then
I feel like who started what don't matter.
It's who took it the farthest.
It's who, yeah.
All right.
It's like the situation is here now. How do you handle it?
Right.
You got to stand on what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go backtracking like, oh, but you started this, that, and the third. Nah, you got to stand on what you said.
I'm with you. I mean, I'm with you. So, like, at the end of the but let's be real about it, right? Even with that, Fresh and Fit apologized. They said they weren't going to bring them up, or at least they were attempting to, but it's an outcry from the people. They want to know. They want to hear the story. But they were saying, like, look, we going to let it go. We ain't got to say nothing. But if you want to box, we can still do that. Like, Fresh literally said that towards the end. It's like, if you want to box, we can still box. So it's not that big a deal. I don't know if they still going to go through it. It's a lot of different looks. Like, Fresh ended up posting on Instagram him shopping for guns. So that looked a little funny. Abba posted another video talking about that. Like,
because Abba was like, he said, this nigga's either dumb and don't understand how shit look, or he's doing it because niggas was talking about boxing and he don't want to box no more.
Bro, for real.
Those are the only two options. It's just like, it's looking kind of sad for them.
Bro.
This is an L.
Yeah.
It's an L. They lost the war.
I mean,
well, the war's still going on.
Yeah, low key, because I thought it was over up until the point where Fresh and Fit is like, yo, throw the ones in the chat if y'all want to hear us like go into this shit in detail. And so they're like, all right, Monday, 9 p.m., we not going to have no girls. It's going to be 2 hours. We're going to answer all the questions. We're going to get into it. Mm-hmm. So I want to see what's up. We dropping this tomorrow, so it's going to be tonight. I really want to see what's up. I want to know what the deal is.
Yeah. Because Abba was talking about, Fresh was like, nah, I need 500,000, and we need some promoters, this and that.
See, but I get where that perspective comes in, because on one hand, right, the whole argument was Abba and Preach posted that whole video clout chasing. They were making a business move. That was the whole initial like offense there, because it's like, you're being disrespectful. Why? What makes sense? So when Fresh and Fit initially brought it up, they was going into the channel and like how many subscribers and viewership and all that, and being like, yo, it makes sense. Like trying to use the numbers to prove a point, right? And when you see that, it's like, okay, now when Fresh and Fit say fuck that, and then they make certain comments that offend you or that are disrespectful to you outside of business, is personal. I get where you come at it and then you're trying to make it personal. But then it's also business too, because you started this for business. They made it personal, but your whole initial thing was still like, you, even though they'll deny it like on camera. They'll be like, oh, we're not we don't care about the numbers, like we don't care about the subscriber count, cool. But out of nowhere, months later, you just so happen to bring this up. You talking about how you have a bunch of other shit y'all be making videos for or two or whatever. Really? I mean, y'all be doing the most random shit ever. So you telling me just months later, y'all just went through this shit and decided to just talk about these dudes just randomly? Like, I'm not going to believe that personally, right? So when we just look at it, why would it be out of the question for Fresh to make it a business move? Because Ab was
Because
like,
it's not about business.
no, it was about business from the beginning, and it never stopped being about business. They made a business.
No. It was over with the business once you start talking about people's wives and start doing all the extra shit.
I disagree that
It's no longer about business. It's personal now. They took it. Fresh and Fit took it personal. That's when it became personal.
But so you saying? See,
I don't want to fight you for no business clout. I want to fight you because you said something disrespectful out your mouth.
You think if it was truly personal, only personal, for Ab and Preach, that they'd be making videos about it? Like, honestly.
I'm talking about the fighting aspect.
No,
the boxing aspect.
I get you there. I'm just saying, but if it was truly personal, because like, and that's why I feel like you can't say like, oh, it stopped being business, because if it was just personal, Abba and Preach would have been in the DMs, they'd have pulled up, and they would have did what they had to do. Y'all still making videos about it. Y'all still talking shit. Y'all still trying to get views, and y'all know y'all getting subscribers from this shit. It never stopped being business. You standing in front of the camera is business. You catching that flight to Miami is personal. You ain't had, like, when you start talking about it, when you start, like, being stiff-faced on camera and acting however, that shit is not personal. That's business. You're getting viewers from that. You're getting money from that shit. Like, the whole thing is framed up. Like, that's how I personally see it. Like,
Nah, not really. I mean, you're going to do what you're going to do. Yeah, they make a video, so we going to make a video. Fuck it. It's more like a petty move to me personally. It's a petty move. Yeah, I'm going to make a video. Fresh and Fit side, maybe. I could see them doing it. But it seems more petty on the other side. They like 5-minute videos.
who?
Ab and Preach. One was like 2 minutes. I think the longest one they had was like 17 minutes. And that was the original video.
I mean, what? But Ab and Preach, they do whole. I'm not Ab and Preach, excuse me. Fresh and Fit, they'll do a whole podcast and they'll just talk about them and then go about their podcast, opposed to like just videos about them, 5 in a row.
Yeah, but it's like more like, okay, he said this, we addressing that. More like talking to the viewers kind of shit. Like how Myron and Fresh was like, yo, put the ones in the chat if you want to talk about it. Keeping niggas up to date.
I feel you. I definitely feel you. Like I want to stay up to date with this shit. I'm gonna watch regardless, but I just think this shit is dumb personally. Just the whole thing, like everybody trying to take sides, like people unsubscribing from Fresh and Fit, like, and I want to see what they answer. I want to see what exactly they address in this 2-hour pod that they said they were gonna do. I want to see. But what's your thoughts as we close off?
I want to see some hands.
I want to see some hands too.
That's
but
it. Niggas
I
is
mean,
talking shit. I just want to see some
violence.
hands.
I don't want to promote violence.
Well, they brought it on themselves. Nigga.
I feel you. I mean, look, that'd be interesting, but I doubt they're going to want to record it. But
They should really watch it. Hey, all you got to do is tell me who won.
yeah, I would like to
It's
see
like-
it. If it was on camera, that shit would be awesome. I'm not going to front.
Like, imagine Preach having a black eye next vid or some shit.
Bruh.
Fresh lip busted or some shit. He just watching the pod. It's like, I guess they settled it. It's like, that was that.
I mean, look, you know what? And I could take that. I'll be like, you know what? Look, fair one, move on. Like, we all good now. We straight. But, yeah. So this was another one for you. We're going to see what happens later on. We're going to see what they address, and hopefully this shit get cleared up. I think this is all super dumb. I still like
I find it funny.
Preach. I still like Fresh and Fit. And I think it's retarded, but
See, I'm not on YouTube like that. I fuck with both channels, but Fresh and Fit took a hit for me. They took a hit.
I don't know.
Don't ask to fight if you're not willing to fight.
See, I agree with that, but I disagree with.
Well,
some of
they could
Abba
still
views.
be willing to fight. They could be. We don't know.
Yeah, we gonna see. We gonna see. But this is another one for y'all. We in the locker room, about to get to the real pod. Let's go.
All right.
Deuces.
Peace.